So I'm gonna talk about this whole Shiloh drama on Twitter that Edwin keeps pushing for some reason when he should honestly let it go, in my opinion. It's just that, honestly, everyone should be held accountable for their actions, but trauma is trauma, and people do react differently based on their upbringing and trauma set in place. And having people go on about having a flat-out, misogynistic as fuck witch hunt out on Shiloh is just fucking shameful. Going on about, how morally superior they are over her when they're the main ones being, unapologetically transphobic, hating social justice issues. A lot of the people she popped off on were not great. And the person that asked about, the fucking where fucking Sarah was and shit, even egged Josh Pescator on releasing Sarah's grades, her school info and shit. And I'm just, okay, she literally has trauma about her people harassing, questioning her for her trauma for years by people who, really don't understand how that shit literally is your fucking life a lot of the time. And this is just proving, even in the anti-O community, people are still doing this to her. Still trying to villainize her at she did something terrible when she legitimately thought her friend who has dealt with trauma from this same asshole, from other people that defend this asshole, who have predators and a whole cult thing going on, and thought she got doxxed. That's Oh, you cannot tell me. A lot of the people that are commenting on this, they don't understand that level of trauma. Shiloh has been dealing with this shit for over a fucking decade. Literally fucking years of experiencing people trying to nitpick everything she's done. People are so ready to discredit victims when they could be using that energy to support them. And honestly, I think, taking a step back would be better or something for her, but at the same time, I hate that people at, victims have to close themselves off so people won't be shit. That is bullshit to me. And I think that as a person who has dealt with all of this, her being, one of the main people who've been against Onision's bullshit for so long, I think she should be able to be left alone, without, folks continuing to act so morally superior, when a lot of the main people that are on there are justifying the N-word for, people who are not black. If, honestly, in my opinion, I know that's kind of derailing, but this is just saying how, shitty people are, and, they're oh, I'm gonna be marginalizing folks, but I'm gonna be so offended that after I pushed at a victim, had bad faith arguments, legitimately looked like I was gonna dox someone she cares about that also deals with her trauma, right? But I'm gonna be upset when, I'm not gonna justify it. I don't think it's okay, to tell people that to, kill themselves or nothing. It's very invalidating to mental health and people who die by suicide. But at the same time, these main people doing this shit are the main ones literally intentionally marginalizing people because they don't want to think a little harder, I guess. And that's just astounding to me. And the fact that people are even going out their way to call her a fucking mini Greg. You know how fucking bullshit that is? To compare a victim or survivor to someone that gave them trauma at any level? It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And a lot of anti-O people act just like Onision's cult fan base, because they continue to have this mob mentality about their fucking opinions. Oh my god, stop. Think for your fucking selves. Stop using what everyone thinks and actually think for yourself when you make your decisions. Like, I get there's a popular thing going on. Like, there's popular stuff, popular opinions. But don't base your opinion off of what's popular. You get me? Base it off of what you actually legitimately think is right, that you looked up and understand. God. And honestly, you know, with how anti-O people in the community, quotation marks, it's just never felt like a community to me. People care so much about their egos, and they can't even let shit go after folks were already reached out to by Shiloh and forgiven by Shiloh. Like, I know this is recent, but a lot of folks that were not even involved in this are acting like they deserve an apology, or they can tell Shiloh who deserves an apology from Shiloh, or whoever. Like, Sarah hasn't even said anything on this, and that's fine. People need to fucking stop. Edwin needs to fucking stop. This is villainizing a fucking victim that has worked on this shit for over a decade, who has trauma of people harassing her and questioning her. And there are folks on here even questioning if she actually had seizures because of this shit, Edwin. If you really cared about victims, you would have let this shit go. Or at least not made every fucking thing public so you could milk it. Like, holy goddamn, you ever just get so mad you get quiet? Just give me 1 fucking second. But it's like, it's just so goddamn shameful. Like, people are talking about how they're so for victims and shit, but they aren't doing shit for victims. They're literally harassing them, having some moral high ground on folks, when it's like they've done fucking, honestly, just bullshit even worse, in my opinion. I mean, like, it's just like, what the fuck are you fucking on? And, you know, like, I don't know if I said this already, but don't take what I'm saying as an ultimate condoning of her actions fully, because I'm not. I don't agree with someone telling people to kill themselves. I think it's really not okay, no matter who it is. But there are nuance to these things. And, like, she's literally received harassment for speaking out against Onision for years, and is still receiving harassment from both people that support Onision, and even people in the damn community that say that they're there for her. And honestly, like, Edwin doing all of this and letting shit snowball by having him, his fans, and any dissenters of, like, you know, I don't know, that any of Onision's cult members, you know, by egging this drama with Shiloh on and having people literally on his stuff, questioning the validity of her trauma. He just could have said his piece and moved the fuck on. It just makes me so fucking sick how all these men, these people, folks with privilege who most likely haven't even experienced the same amount of trauma that Shiloh has, and acting like they can speak on how trauma victims should act. And I get that everyone needs to be held accountable for their actions. Everyone does, no matter what you have going on. Those are still your actions, of course. You know. But I don't know. I'm just tired of folks being, like, obviously for the drama, you know, versus actually being there to support the victims, to deplatform predators, to get rid of this bullshit with Onision and Kai and every other asshole like them. And it's literally disgusting seeing all of this shit play out because people don't actually care about victims. You know?